Episode of the Everblack Podcast is brought to you by Deathwish, Hotrods and Kustoms. Check out their Instagram for all their new t-shirts, caps, beanies, cups, and the all-new Atomic Death lineup. Awesome. Thanks. Looks like we're about to. You look like you're in the belly of a whale or something. What's the? In space.
It's just the garage where I hang out.
Oh, it looks like you know in the movies where you see like there's like the belly of the whale and there's like the rib cage like in. It looks like that behind you.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had a coffee yet. Yeah, there you go. But how are you going? What's going on?
Oh, just hanging out, trying to beat the heat. It's around 100 Fahrenheit here today.
Oh.
So, yeah, brutal, but, fair.
Mate, it's, see, we're just coming out of our winter here, and I reckon we're going to cop it, eh? You guys are going to send it. You'll bring it on the plane with you. That's what you'll do.
Well, hopefully it'll start getting a bit warmer in October, right? So
yeah. That's it. But mate, thanks for hanging out on the show. I know it's hot and smelly and stinky over there where you are, and I appreciate you taking the time.
No problem. Pleasure.
Awesome, mate. Awesome. Well, it's not long to go until you come back to Australia for the massive Metal Gods tour with Tim Ripper Owens and playing cuts from Judas Priest and Dio. Man, it's going to be a great tour. How's prep for it going? What's going on? Like, how you jamming or you?
Well, I haven't really been jamming, but I have started, kicking around a little bit here at home. We've had a new property, and weirdly, but luckily, there's kind of like a basement, so I'm gonna set up in there and just been jamming along. I know that the bulk of the Dio stuff and the Rainbow stuff and the Black Sabbath, but I just need to catch up on the Priest stuff.
Oh yeah,
but I know it, but I just gotta play it again. So it's going well. It'll be fine.
Yeah, mate, you know what you're doing. You could do it with your eyes closed. You could do it in your sleep. You're playing Painkiller in your sleep, mate.
No, we're not doing Painkiller, dude. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Travis.
Oh, mate. Mate, I'm just really looking forward to it. I mean, when was the last time you were back in Australia? When were you here last? Personally?
I think it was 2018. Because I used to go over. I started to keep going over there regularly, like every year or every other year, and we do the Bon But Not Forgotten, the celebration of Bon with Jaymes and I think Rusty did it a couple of times, and then Skaney was singing as well. So it was great, and Joel McDonald was doing it too. So I used to really enjoy it. The first time I went to Australia, I loved it, and every time I go back there, I still love it. It's great, People are great.
There we go, all right. Bees are all right.
Except for some of them,
But I spoke to Ripper a couple of months ago about the tour and how he's keen to jam with you, and he's got a lot of respect and admiration for you as well as a player. How doing these run of shows with him, what are you looking forward to the most apart from jamming out on those songs?
Yeah, well, we did a small run with me and Tim with Jaymes again, and it went really well. I'm really looking forward to it. Just hanging out. I mean, we've got I think we got like 2-3 days off in the middle of it. So I think we're going to be in Melbourne, and I love Melbourne, so I've stayed there many times. So I'm looking forward to that. We can sink a few pints and have some good food. Should be good. Yeah. Tim's great. I mean, I can't remember. It seems like I must have known Tim now about 16, 17 years, something like that. He was in the band we created after Ronnie passed away, DIO Disciples. He was our first singer, first choice, because he knew Wendy and he knew Ronnie and stuff. And he's just such a likable kind of guy, He's easygoing. He's got a sense of humor. He's a really cool guy, We did some great shows together too, so I'm looking forward to it.
And you see him, I mean, you get to see him every night obviously, we see him from the front. You see him from the back. So you see the back every night. But, as a performer, obviously, sometimes it happens. Like I as a singer myself, I feed a lot off the drummer, the energy there. So in reverse of that, do you find that you feed off the energy of the front man or Tim's energy?
Oh yeah. I mean, it was like with Ronnie and with all the singers I've been, fortunate enough to work with. It's there's some of that. There's different ways some singers kind of emote and put across their emotion and stuff like that. But with Tim, he's just really hardcore. He's angry. He's in your face. He wants to. He wants to see you moving. He wants to see you enjoying yourself. And if you're not, he'll probably shout at you. So, he's got a real energy and anger to him, which is very cool. So it's great. It's cool.
I never got to see DIO live, sadly. So this tour is going to be pretty damn special for me. I came close to seeing Heaven and Hell, but just at the time, it's one of those things I'll forever kick myself. I never saw Motorhead as well. So as I said, like, this is going to be the next best thing for me as a tribute to the great man. Obviously I'm not alone there. There's probably many other people that missed out, especially the younger generation. I guess it's an important thing for you guys to keep his legacy alive and to keep that going forward to future generations, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the band we had, DIO Disciples, which is we kind of shifted away from that, and we were doing a project called DIO Returns, which was an actual hologram of Ronnie. And we did a pretty good tour of the US in 2019, and it was great because you get a real cross match of people. You get the older generation, and then the younger, and then even young kids. So who never got a chance to see Ronnie. Yeah. So they were very appreciative and thanked us a lot for bringing that kind of show out on the road, because they didn't get a chance to see Ronnie. So it just makes everything worthwhile doing when you're speaking to people like that who are so excited about things. It's great.
Doing those shows, I could imagine, as not just as DIO's drummer, but as a good friend of his, they would have been pretty emotional for you. Is that right?
Yeah, it was, when you're doing the show, you gotta do the business and stuff. And this show was much different to what I'd been playing other shows, before that, because I had to play along to a click track through that show. Wear the headphones. I don't like in-ears, so I wear headphones. So I had to really, sit back and concentrate, because the click was, ran to Ronnie's voice, which was taken from different parts of his career and time and stuff. So it had a couple of ebbs and flows, so you had to really kind of lock in with it, but you got to learn it after a while. And it was after the shows when you meet the people, and like I was saying earlier, they're just so grateful that that you came along and you did a show like that. Yeah,
that's awesome. And I heard it's going to be continuing in some aspect. Like there's the doco that's coming out. Well, what's that called?
Yeah. There's a Dreamers Never Die. That's going to be, I don't know when it's going to be a worldwide release, but over here they're doing I think it's the 20th of September, and then it's going to be shown in all, I think, across America just for one day, and then the next day is on the 29th, and just for that day again. So I don't know when it's getting a proper release, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing that. I must admit, you know. And hopefully next year we're going to go out again with, I'm not sure what it's going to be called. It might be DIO Returns again, but with the LED screens. And there's also some 3D imaging that has been brought in. And I've seen a bit of it, and it's freaking amazing, you know. So it should be quite a show, and we'll probably have, you know, two singers again singing and stuff. I'm not sure if it's going to be Tim, but I'm not sure. Yeah, so that'll probably be next year.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so awesome. We didn't get to see the hologram down here. I was hoping it would have come down.
Yeah, we wanted to, but then COVID hit, you know.
Yeah, I know.
We had plans to go Europe, South America, you know, Scandinavia, Australia, everywhere, you know, but no way.
Mate. You know, all the respect to you guys and of course Wendy for putting in that time and heart and effort to keep DIO's, you know, legacy alive like that. It's so special, man. Especially for generations.
She spends so much time too on his you know, the Cancer Foundation too.
Yeah,
she has a lot of work to do with that as well. So yeah, she's an amazing woman. That's for sure.
Oh, I'd love to chat to her one day. You know, she seems incredible. You know.
Yeah.
I heard nothing.
Nice lady.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know, you've probably been asked this a million times in the past, but do you remember the time you first met Ronnie?
Oh God. You know, I can't. I remember a time I met him. Well, I'm not sure if it was the first time. I think I met him in London actually for the first time. Because I'm thinking I had a 21st birthday party in London. And who knew him? I think my ex-wife knew him and stuff. But anyway, she invited him down this party and all, and everybody was there. It was really cool. I mean, you couldn't have. It's like Simon LeBon was there and Jimmy Page and stuff. And then my mates from Manchester, and they're all going, look, that's Jimmy Page, you know, and stuff. So it was like, and then Ronnie showed up and stuff, and he said, come with me. So we went out to his car and he put in Last in Line, the album, you know, before it was released, and he played it in the car, and I was just sitting there stunned, you know. It's like, fucking hell, this is good, you know. It's like, I'd already knew Holy Diver, so yeah, I think that was the first time. Yeah, we chatted a little bit and stuff, and then he had to take off or something.
Right.
But I met him several occasions after that, and then you know, when it came the end of DC, I found out he was looking for for a drummer, so we put our heads together, and I ended up doing that.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first show you jammed with him? Like you got out there, and you remember that first gig?
Yeah, that was I can't remember where that was. God, that was on the Lock of the Wolves tour. Yeah. Oh, we did an impromptu gig at the local bar down the street from the studio.
Oh man.
You know,
how did that go down?
Well, the only really it went. There was like a bunch of Marines in there and stuff, and we were all like hammered. But that was the first time that we played together, and we played like Holy Diver and Stand Up and Shout, I think, or something. And they wouldn't let Rowan Robertson, the guitar player, have a drink because he wasn't old enough. So they just let him. He could only play. He couldn't have a drink. So,
oh man.
Yeah. But I can't remember the first gig on the Lock Up of the Wolves tour. Maybe someone, I just can't remember. God, it was so long ago. And so many gigs with him after that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Went everywhere, all over the world. Mate, what an adventure. Yeah. You were also part of there was a band from a little band from Australia here called ACDC. I believe that, you know,
Oh yeah, those guys. Yeah,
guys. No, I think they've done all right for themselves.
they're
Um,
not doing well. They're doing okay.
they're
I hope
doing
they're
all right.
doing
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. But mate, that's I mean that's massive. You know, you're part of joining them and in the '80s, and mate, that would have been an absolute trip.
Yeah, it was so unexpected. I mean, I didn't know anything. I didn't know it was the band when I went down to audition. They didn't say who it was. So,
Mm.
and then I'll try and minimize it, the story or whatever. But I mean, a friend of mine saw the ad in just a music paper, and it said drummer wanted. If you don't hit hard, don't apply. So she said, "Well, you hit hard, don't you?" I said, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah." Because I really wasn't looking, or I was just in London hanging out. But so I go down, I do the audition, I do okay, and it's just with a drum kit and the drum tech, and he says that's great. We'll get back in touch with you. And I went, oh yeah, right, okay. But he called about 3 hours later and said, "Can you come down tomorrow?" And I said, "No, I haven't got any money." He said, "Don't worry, get yourself in a taxi." So I go back down, and he leads me down this other hallway to another rehearsal space. And there's all these drum flight cases with ACDC on them. So I sort of tapped him on the shoulder and I go, "You're kidding, right?" And he goes, "No." And I'm like, "Oh, shit." I didn't even know they were looking for a drummer, because it was all on the quiet.
Yeah,
So anyway, the door opens and it's Angus and Mal and Cliff and this. They're so normal, they're not like big rock star types
yeah,
or anything. They're
yeah.
just so down to earth, which made it a lot easier, to just concentrate on what you needed to do. So yeah, we did ran through some stuff, Back in Black and all that, and then we stopped and they wandered over and sat on the couch over there, and I thought, well, I better follow them, so I did. And they started talking about touring and stuff and all, and I thought, well, am I supposed to be here now? Should I leave? So I thought, I tapped Mal. I said, "Does this mean I'm in the band?" And he goes, "Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it?" So,
Right.
you know, I couldn't wait to get out of there and make some phone calls and tell me dad and everything.
Mate, that feeling would have just been like you're just about to explode, hey?
I know, right? They were just cool, though. I mean, they were just
Yeah.
so down to earth that it was a bit surreal, really. But yeah, I can never thank them enough for that wild ride.
But it's been a
So
wild ride. Like, mate, from then, I mean, even before then, I mean, you've had such an incredible career as a drummer, dude. Like, you've jammed with so many great cats. I mean, obviously, ACDC, Dio, UFO, Rhino Bucket, Jeff Tate. I mean, mate, so many.
yeah,
No, dude, you've had
yeah,
a
I've been very fortunate. It's you had to kind of learn a lot quickly. So I
yeah.
guess I did the best I could. Um, but yeah, it's been a real blast. I mean, I've been very humbled by the whole thing. Working with these great talented musicians. I mean, I was a teenager and I was looking at the album covers and I was loving
Yeah.
Black Sabbath and UFO with Thin Lizzy, and then next thing I'm actually in the band and all. It's a bit, like I said, surreal. So, but once you get it though, you got to work it, and you got to,
Yeah.
you got to get along with people and play some long touring and long shows and stuff. But I love it. It's great. Yeah.
That's so awesome. Do you remember the first big show that you did? The first big massive gig?
That was probably with ACDC. And I think I've got this one right where we did the first show. It was in Vancouver, I think, in Canada, place called Saddle Dome. And yeah, but there again, I mean, it was, I mean, I'm sorry, Nev, what was your question?
Oh, that's all right. Which was the big show, and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess
yeah. That
how
was
did
it.
that
Yeah,
feel?
yeah. Yeah, but even then, like I say again with them, I mean, backstage, behind the amps and the cabinets, there's like a bar and a dartboard, and they're hanging out, having a beer and playing darts, and all sorts of characters would end up back there playing darts. A lot of times Deep Purple will be back there too. Metallica. So but at that particular first show, yeah, it was a bit daunting. They kind of warned me, my drum tech, and he said, when the lights go down, it's going to get really, really, really loud. And it wasn't wrong either. I mean, it was just like, what the fuck, So, but then they're all, let's get this done, so we can have a beer, And so that was the good one. Yeah, remember that one.
That's incredible. And which band that you've jammed with over the years has sort of challenged you the most as a drummer? Because you are an absolute weapon. Let's not beat around the bush here. So,
thanks, man.
You're an absolute weapon behind the kit. But I mean, which band has sort of really pushed you as a musician, as a drummer?
Yeah, I think that would be the Jeff Tate Queensryche that we did when we first started doing that. When I talked to Jeff about the gig, and he said he told me what he wanted and what we were going to be doing, and Rudy Sarzo was in the band as well, and his brother Robert. But yeah, then it came down to he said we were going to do the whole of Operation Mindcrime. So I sat down, I'm like, oh, great stuff, cool. And I sort of put the phone down and went, oh God, what did I just do? So. There are some little twists and turns on that album and all, but it was really enjoyable figuring it all out as best we could, and I think we did a really damn good job in the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then we went on. Obviously, I was in the band Operation Mindcrime after we settled his differences with the other guys in Queensryche, and that was cool too because we would really delve into some of the more obscure Queensryche tunes and stuff. And that, again, that took some figuring out and all, but it was really enjoyable.
That's awesome. And of course, I mean, you got Metal Gods coming up. What else is on the cards, mate? Apart from trying to beat the heat out there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like I said, I mean, next year, hopefully we're going to get things up and running with this DIO Returns again with with the screens and the 3D. I'm not sure if it's going to be the hologram. I don't think it is. That's kind of up to management and stuff. But I have seen some of the footage of the 3D stuff, and it's incredible. So hopefully we'll get going with that next year. So yeah, and looking forward to coming back to us.
Absolutely. Well, mate, hey, thanks for hanging out on the show. I know it's stinking hot over there. You're in the belly of the beast. You just probably want to have a beer and a jam. So
yeah,
appreciate, mate. I appreciate. I got my Judas Priest mug, by the way.
There you go.
Mate, thank you so much for hanging out. We're going to have all the links down here for Metal Gods. Go get them. I'll see you in Brisbane. Have a good one.
Great. Thanks a lot, Nav. Appreciate it.